Then everything that you're going to need is on a website called Nearpod, so just go ahead and type that in, and you should already be logged in to your lesson. So what you're going to do is, it's the one titled Art. You should see a website on there. So all you have to do is click Live Lesson, and then each of the students will have to get on their device and go to nearpod.com, and they will type up this code that appears on your screen, so you're just going to have to give it to them. And then we're going to wait for them to log in. Okay, so the first thing that's going to pop up is going to be a YouTube video, so just go ahead and play that. That will be a couple minutes. And then you are just going to read off of this PowerPoint to introduce the topic to them. So today's topic is on emphasis and how the elements of space and emphasis contribute meaning in works of art. And so when you're going through this presentation, it'll appear on their screen as well, but they won't be able to click through it or anything, so it's on the teacher's pace. So emphasis is an area or object within the artwork that draws attention and becomes a focal point. So the focal point is the area of the image that commands the attention of the viewer, the area of the image to which the viewer's eye is naturally drawn. So today we are going to focus on the focal point, so that's what I'll be referring to it as. So most artists determine what their focal point will be before they begin creating their piece of work. So this is just, this picture is just an example of emphasis. So obviously you can see that the artist wanted the yellow fruit to stand out. It's the only one that's that color, and it really draws attention. So the next activity is going to be, their students are going to circle what the focal point of an image that pops up on their screen is. Once they each submit their drawing, it will pop up on your screen, and you will be able to evaluate how they did. So obviously the focal point of this image was the red apple, since it was the only red apple. All right, and then just when you see all of them have contributed, you can go ahead and click to the next one. And they're going to do the same thing, and you will be able to review and discuss the image once they've all submitted. So obviously it's the red jacket, because it is the only really colorful part of the piece. And this one is still waiting on the students, so all right, so perfect, they all popped up. Obviously the students are doing great. They all circled the correct thing. And then the next ones are going to be a little more difficult, but we'll see how they do. All right, so after seeing something like this, we'll be able to review and discuss how the tall object is actually not the focal point of this piece. Since all of the other colors in the piece are cool colors, the blues and the blacks, the moon is actually going to be the focal point of this piece, because the lines also draw you in to the moon. So it can be literal lines that draw you into a focal point, or implied lines. But that moon will be the focal point because it's the only really warm color, and those lines draw you to look at it. So we'll be able to discuss that after I see that they all thought it was that tall building. And this is the last one. So after reviewing this one, they all chose basically different things, but this one is the hardest that we've reviewed today, but this is actually the earring is going to be the focal point, because it's the lightest thing in a really dark place, and the implied jawline and headband lead you down to the earring. So that is our lesson for today, and this is going to be a collaborative space. So what is going to happen, this will pop up on their screen as well, so they'll be able to read the instructions, but For this project, we're all going to be creating an individual piece of art with an obvious focal point. So on this screen, I want all their students to basically make a proposal of what they want their piece to be of. And so they're going to write their ideas in here. They can see what other students are saying to get some inspiration. And then once they've submitted something, as the teacher, I will be able to give it a go. So I'll be able to give it a check mark. And then I'll also be able to like it. And then once they get the like from that teacher, then they can begin creating their artwork. So once the students submit it, you can approve it and give it a like. So that is the conclusion of the lesson.